I have your attention, please?
You need passion. You need desire. You need want. We play with that passion. We play together. We play for each other. And we play to win. We are Notre Dame.
It's time once again for our Notre Dame slot and a great chance to welcome Len Clark to the programme. Len, 2-0.
2-0, Declan, a big game coming up against the number 3 team in the country, Georgia, next Saturday night on national television. ESPN has their game day there, so a lot of excitement. But if Notre Dame is going to contend in that game, they need to improve. Yesterday, they defeated New Mexico by a score of 66-14. Ian Book passes for a career-high 360 yards and 5 touchdowns. But, Declan, how can you say with those statistics that Notre Dame didn't play that well?
Yeah, I mean, the defense did quite well. I mean, they only coughed up 14 points again this time around. But again, if you're disappointed, obviously something misfired somewhere.
And I think it would have to be traced to the offensive line. Notre Dame did not really have a running game yesterday. Now, Tony Jones Jr., who had over 100 yards against Louisville in the season opener, only touched the ball yesterday 6 times and gained 21 yards. And you don't want to put your best back out there in case he might get hurt, but the running back position has been depleted. Jafar Armstrong out with an injury. Jameer Smith did not play because of a turf toe injury. But there were some positives. Avery Davis, who was a quarterback who moved to defense, has now moved back. He had a touchdown yesterday, but you mentioned it. The defense really set the tone in this ballgame. They had 3 first-half interceptions, 1 return for a 34-yard touchdown, the pick 6 by freshman Kyle Hamilton, who ironically is from the state of Georgia, where the Irish will go next weekend.
Well, we actually have a piece of commentary, thanks to yourself, of Kyle Hamilton's interception, so we'll take that now.
Sharon Jones walks back up to the line of scrimmage, barks out instructions, looks to his sideline, and now is ready for the shotgun snap. On 3rd and 8, drops back, the Irish bring 5, thrown to the left, intercepted! Kyle Hamilton will go 10, 5, dives into the end zone, touchdown Notre Dame! Here we go. Notre Dame leading 7-0 against New Mexico. 11:56 and counting in the first. Ian Book, 4th and goal from inside the 1. He's under center. Another quarterback sneak. Gets a push from behind. No call. No call. Touchdown Notre Dame.
So Ian Book got in there for the touchdown, Len, on that second play that we've just played to the listenership. And again, he's done that for the second week running.
Yeah, that was the second touchdown that Notre Dame scored in the ball game. But a concern is that Ian Book was the leading rusher for the Irish, and you really don't want your quarterback to be making that many rushing attempts. Now, a few were design plays for him to run the ball, but that means that offensive line let the New Mexico defense put some pressure on Ian Book, and that caused him to scramble. And that's why Ian Book gained 53 yards yesterday on 9 carries and led the Irish in that category.
Now, we're going to bring some more audio from the game. We're going to feature an interception and that Avery Davis touchdown that you mentioned before. We're going to do Javon McKinley's touchdown and another interception from Sean Crawford.
Takes the snap. Irish bring 5. Intercepted by Jalen Elliott. The ball tossed right over the middle. Jalen Elliott was there. Caught it at the 40-yard line and went down at the 38. Second interception thrown by Jones. First one for Elliott this season, and Notre Dame takes over on their own 42-yard line. 1st and 10 from their own 42. They give to around the right side on the reverse. Running free. The 20. The 10. The 5. Touchdown Notre Dame.
Avery Davis coming in and making a play.
2nd and 10 now from his own 35. Shotgun, looks to his left, now across the middle. Hits Javon McKinley across the 45 and 50, breaking tackles into the 40-yard line, 35, 30. Running free across the 20, down to the 10, 5. McKinley. 27-0 Notre Dame over New Mexico. Play clock down to 3. There's the snap. Drops back from the pocket, throws down the middle, and the ball is intercepted. Interception, Notre Dame, Sean Crawford. It was a seam route right down the middle of the field, and Sean Crawford had it blanketed the entire time and came up with the pick. Notre Dame takes over, leading 28-0.
Those interceptions happened at key times because the opposition were in a position to possibly do something creatively in offense, and the interceptions prevented that taking place. I mean, Notre Dame were leading at 45-7 at one point, and then closed it out 66-14. So while there were some reservations, the defense did an awful lot of great work yesterday.
Yeah, and New Mexico was driving the ball, as you said, and potentially could score a touchdown, but the defense came up with those 3 interceptions in the first half, and that really set the tone for the ball game. So Avery Davis, as we said, he was on offense, he moved to defense, and he actually got the game ball yesterday for his performance. And then the 2 touchdown receptions by Javon McKinley, that's very great for that young man. He's had some off-field trouble with the university, but he's kind of got everything back in a row and is doing the things the right way. And to see him be rewarded by being on the receiving end of a couple of touchdown passes was really good for him. And then your favorite player, Chase Claypool out of British Columbia, with a big afternoon yesterday. He led the receivers with 4 catches for 96 yards, and Big Chase pulled down a touchdown as well in the 5 touchdown passes thrown by Ian Book.
Well, we've 2 more touchdown plays to bring to the listenership, so we'll bring those now. We'll bring Chase Claypool's, and we'll also bring Chris Fink's touchdowns.
Shotgun from his own 46.
Offenses can take shots here. You get a big swing of momentum. You got 3 downs to really make something. Take a shot downfield. Keep banging on that threat and that back of the mind worry of New Mexico's defense.
Kyron Williams, the tailback to the right of Ian Book, who's in the shotgun. Taking an extended look to the sideline. Maybe they're taking a look to see if that was actually an interception.
They're going to watch here as we're watching the replay whether the ball rolled out of Sean Crawford's hand, but looks like we're going.
Yep, that was a pick. Here we go, 1st and 10 from their own 46. Tommy Tremble in short motion. Book, play action, rolls to his right, throws to the near sideline. Great pass to Chase Claypool, a strike to the 40, beyond the 40-yard line to the 37-yard line, 19-yard pitch and catch. Clock stops, 1:56 left. Notre Dame on the move.
Notre Dame back on the ball, too. Wanted to go fast and score here before the half.
1st and 10 from the New Mexico 37. Operating from the near hash, moving left to right. Book, play action, stands in the pocket, throws down middle of the field. This is going to be a touchdown. Chase Claypool caught it on the 5-yard line, walked into the end zone. 2nd down 4 from their own 46. Here comes Fink in motion. He gets the shovel pass across the 45 around the left side 50. 40-yard line running by himself. Down the far numbers 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Chris Fink.
Notre Dame did what was required to win the game, but as you said, a lot of the work is the credit is due to the defense. And in fairness, when the ball got turned over, the offense then clicked into gear and was able to get off the scores.
Yeah, the Notre Dame team yesterday was like my first car. It took a while to get warmed up, but when it started running, it ran very well. But they're really going to have to execute next week against a very good Georgia team. They're rated number 3 in the country. Now, they haven't played that tough of a schedule. Georgia yesterday defeated Arkansas State, which is on the caliber of a team like New Mexico. They defeated them 55-0. But it's an SEC team, a Southeastern Conference, which is traditionally one of the best conferences in the United States, with Alabama and Florida and Georgia and teams along those lines. And Notre Dame going into hostile territory. The good thing out of the game yesterday, no mistakes. They did not turn the ball over, but Brian Kelly, after the Louisville game, says, don't focus on winning. Focus on each play. And Declan, what's interesting is that the average play takes about 6 seconds. And so Brian Kelly said, players, focus on making that the best 6 seconds that you can do. And if we take care of the little things, the big things will envelop and become to fruition.
Well, we have 2 more pieces of audio which was recorded post-game. We spoke to quarterback Ian Book and also to Coach Brian Kelly.
I thought the coaches did a really good job of, having us a great game plan that was able to, put us in the right spots. And then, I was really happy with being able to make the big play when we needed it. Thought we might have started a little slow in the beginning, but I think you saw that we were able to pick it up as the game went on, and that's huge. We need that in offense, and really happy for the offense, and big shout out to the O-line. I thought they did a great job in that protecting me, so it was great.
Well, pleased with the victory, certainly at home. I thought that our team kind of found themselves a little bit today. We have been looking to go into a second week here and put the pieces together. And I think by and large, they started to fall together for us today. You saw a number of different players on the offensive side of the ball have significant roles in what we did offensively. And that was kind of, what we were expecting to kind of happen today, and it came to fruition.
Coach Kelly there bringing the audio pieces to a close. Len, it looks like Notre Dame is, shall we say, getting there slowly but surely, but will they have their game at the appropriate level for an opponent like Georgia?
Well, the most important thing is that Notre Dame now has 2 games underneath their belt, and a lot of players did see action yesterday in the game against New Mexico, especially at the quarterback position. Phil Jerkovic had some game situation play yesterday, as well as third-string quarterback Brendan Clark. And that's going to be very key, because if there is a key injury, you need players to come in and contribute immediately. And it's always tough to do if you don't have that game experience. So it was very important to get as many different players in there yesterday. But I really think the defense is going to be the key against Georgia. They're going to have to stop the run, and Notre Dame's going to have to run the ball. And that's going to be the focus of practice this week, is the Notre Dame running game. Because of the injuries, you've got Avery Davis back in there now. Try to get Tony Jones untracked in the next game so that Notre Dame can run the ball effectively. But the defense has got to stop the run. But a bright spot on defense as well is that Asmar Bilal, the senior out of Indianapolis, Indiana, with 8 tackles yesterday to lead the Fighting Irish. And so that linebacker position that you and I have talked about that has been kind of a question mark is starting to become more and more clarified in who is going to be the key people and the personnel at that position. And right now it looks like Drew White and Asmar Bilal, the main Mike linebacker and Will linebacker.
And the thing with Ian Book is, he's got 2 tricks up his sleeve, and the second one seems to be working for him, i.e. running the ball himself. But as we've said before, you don't want your quarterback putting himself in those positions that often, because he runs the risk of getting hit by an opposition player.
Well, let me tell you, last time that Georgia was at Notre Dame Stadium a couple of seasons ago, and this is only the 3rd time that Notre Dame will have ever played Georgia. They played them back in the early 1980s in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia when they had Herschel Walker as a running back, and then a couple of years ago. But Georgia is big. They are bad, and they are quick. Their offensive and defensive linemen are 300 pounds plus, and Notre Dame is big, but not that big. And so, Declan, it's either going to be a very close game or it's going to be a blowout by Georgia. That's the prediction. And right now, Notre Dame will try in the next week in practice. They've only got 5 days to prepare for the Bulldogs. They're going to have to put a game plan together by the coaching staff. The players are going to have to execute, and there's always a little bit of that Irish luck that you need.
Well, let's hope they get that Irish luck, Len. We've got the 2-0, which is probably, if you'd offered either of us that at the start of the season, we'd have said we'd take that. But this is a much bigger and much tougher test coming up at the weekend, and we'll cross fingers, toes, all other integers, and rub rabbits' foots and say, get down on our knees and pray that the Fighting Irish can do it next Saturday.
Well, Declan, here's my schedule. I'm going to fly out to Atlanta next Saturday morning. Now, it's an 8:30 Eastern Time kickoff, and so I'm going to get in Atlanta in the morning, take a car up to the game, cover the game. It's an 8:30 start, so I'm not going to get out of there until about 2 o'clock in the morning, head back to the airport, jump on a plane at 6 o'clock in the morning, and hopefully have a conversation with you on Dublin City's On the Ball program.
Okay, well, listen, safe travels on that, and it's going to be a hectic day for you, but we look forward to talking to you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
And Declan, as they say in South Bend, Indiana, go Irish.
And that's all we have time for on our Notre Dame slot.